This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Groomer Humor on Pet Life Radio. Once again, we want to thank our producer, Mark Winter, and Pet Life Radio for giving us the opportunity. And we also want to thank you guys for tuning in and listening to us. We love each and every one of you out there. In this episode, we're going to ask this question. Does your dog love your groomer? Could be yes, could be no. Who knows? We're going to try to answer that. And we also have our very funny comment segment coming up in this episode of Groomer Humor.
Are you listening to this right now with a cell phone clenched between your teeth as you frantically flip pages on your paper calendars? Or are you a new breed of groomer, bred for speed and efficiency of movement? 123 Pet software automates your communications, doing the reminding, confirming, thanking, and marketing for you. 123 Pet centralizes your schedule, employees, clients, inventory, and more. 123 Pet is the business management software you need. Start minding your business today. Visit 123petsoftware.com.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Groomer Humor on Pet Life Radio. Once again, we are your hosts. I'm Rudy V, along with the amazing Anthony Ray.
Amazing. I'm not a magician.
You could be, although magicians are usually very thin.
Yeah.
Because they got to squeeze into like small boxes and stuff.
Oh, I can't even squeeze into my XL basketball shorts. So.
But you know what? You would be a good magic act because you kind of look like a bear. So, like, you know how, like, you know, maybe you can do a thing like where you're human and you turn into a bear because you look like a bear, you know?
Yeah, I could just get in the cage and they could put the sheet on and then just take it off. It's real easy.
Just take the sheet off and now just be there, you know? That would be funny.
I like when you said we'd like to thank our producer, Mark Winter. Like that you're emphasizing it. Like, he's our producer.
Right.
It's not your producer.
No.
You guys. He's our producer, Mark.
He's our producer, not your producer.
Yeah, he's not your producer. So don't even try to say that he's your producer. He's our producer. This is our Mark. Okay? Your Mark sucks. Our Mark is awesome.
Everyone should have a Mark.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Just the Avengers have a Hulk.
Yeah.
We have a Mark.
We have a Mark.
We have a Mark. Okay. A Mark Winter, no less.
Yes, no less. Don't play. Don't come near my Mark.
Don't come near my Mark. You mess with my Mark, that's our Mark.
Our Mark.
Like we said in the intro, our producer.
It's fun to say that, though. It's fun to say you got a producer.
Yeah.
You know,
whenever I talk to any of my friends about the podcast, if it comes up organically, where I have to say, like, the producer's really cool. They'll all, what? Wait, your show is like produced? Like, what does that mean? Like Hollywood? They don't know. Like, they don't get it.
Like Hollywood. Yep, just like Hollywood. That's what we are.
Mm-hmm.
We have a Hollywood producer.
Hollywood podcast with Mark Winter.
Well, it feels that way to us. So
it does. We got people listening. That's awesome.
Yeah. And yes, and we're very happy and proud and thankful that we do have a producer, and we do have the best producer. But we still have to get into our show that Mark is going to produce. So, does your dog love your groomer? Listen, guys, this is very, very important because your dog should love your groomer. Do all dogs love your groomer? I don't think so, but most of them do. A lot of dogs really, really do love their dog groomer. And we know this because the owners tell us. We get it all the time. The owners will say to their dog, do you want to go see Rudy and Anthony? Do you want to go see? And the dogs just go nuts and start running to the door, and they want to jump in the car because they want to come see us, which is just so cool to know that, the dogs get excited to come and see us. It's just funny, too, because some dogs just barrel into the store, right, Anthony? And they're just sliding all over the place and beelining into the store. And it's so funny to watch.
Yeah, we have this this really big, overgrown chocolate lab who she's so strong and so big, and she barrels into the store and like I guess her quest is to get into the cage as quick as possible while saying hello to both of us and saying goodbye to her owner. Like and I get, for some reason she wants to get it all done within 5 seconds of coming in the store, and it's just stuff is flying everywhere, and only for her to finally make it to the cage and just lay down and relax. She's so funny what she does. She destroys the store and then just lays down.
Coco.
Yeah, Coco. She's so sweet.
And not to mention, she also pees while doing all of that.
Right. All of this
She's
at
so
8:30.
excited.
Yep, 8:30 in the morning. That's what's going on with Coco. But we love her, so it's like she's so happy to see us. She becomes beside herself, like she doesn't know what to do.
100-pound lab.
100-pound lab. Yeah, she knows where to go because she's in the same cage every time. Because we have 2 big cages, and one of them is easy to get into. So she goes to the same one every time. We don't even have to put her away. She like I said, she barrels into it herself.
She goes right in. Yep. Yeah. So that's, a good portion of the dogs. But then, you have the opposite end of that, and you have the dog that is just retreating. It doesn't want to come in the store at all. It just wants to back out of its collar. It wants to run back into the car because it just doesn't want to get groomed. Until, I don't know, once you get them to the point of no return, when they enter the back room, then they're fine. I think it's just like their last chance effort to try to get back home and not have it get done. And I don't think that means that the dog doesn't love you. I just think it means it doesn't want to get groomed.
Yeah. Also, I have a very, very quick word of advice for anybody, especially people with small dogs, because it's easier. If your dog is backing out and doesn't want to go in the shop or the store, wherever your groomer is, just pick them up. Because people with big dogs can't really do this, obviously, but we see this happen a lot where somebody has a little Maltese or a little Shih Tzu or something like that, and the dog, you're always going to have these dogs that they don't want to come in, even if they like the groomer. Sometimes it's like, no, I don't want to come here all day, and they start, retreating. Just pick the dog up. It's so much easier. Pick the dog up, bring him inside, then put him back on the floor, or just hand them to the groomer if the dog is, sweet. But yeah, just a quick, we see that a lot, and we've seen, dogs do get off of leashes very easily.
That's right. That's great advice, Thunder.
Yeah, well, small dog, pick him up, get him in.
Get them in. Yep. But it's very, very true. Pick the dog up because dogs will back out of their collars, and if the door is even slightly open, they will squeeze through and try to get away. So definitely. And if even with your big dogs, if your dog is trying to back out of the collar, maybe just kind of stand behind the dog so that they're not doing it. Sometimes it's like a group effort. Sometimes we're holding the leash, the owner's in the back of the dog, pushing the dog in. And again, it's just not uncommon. Just some dogs would just rather be home. But again, you got the other dogs that just beeline into the store. Either way, guys, you have to develop a personal relationship with each and every dog and each and every owner, regardless of whether they love you or they tolerate you. I think in a lot of cases, dogs tolerate the groomer and they tolerate the grooming. They don't necessarily love it, but it doesn't mean that they don't love you. You know what I mean? It's kind of like me and you, Anthony. I tolerate you, but I love you at the same time. You know what I'm saying?
Well, here's the thing with the tolerating. That's not even a knock, because a lot of times, if a dog is tolerating it rather than liking it, a lot of times those dogs are easier to groom because they stay still. When a dog is too happy, they love it too much, they want to play the whole time. So,
you're my son.
I'm your son. I'm a smart man.
That's such a good point. It really is. Some dogs are just too overly playful on the grooming table, and they're harder to groom.
Yeah, they make it more challenging.
Yeah. You're so right.
Yeah. We had the puppy the other day. So sweet. And actually, she was the best of both worlds because she was super playful. But then, as soon as you would say, "Okay, stay still, sweetie," and she would actually listen. Like she knows that dog knows nothing but niceness. Nothing but love. But like sometimes you get that perfect dog where it's like, oh, you're showing me all this love and you're being good. Like, no, I love you.
And they love her to death because I love the owner, and we've mentioned this in the past. Like the owner's like this big bodybuilding type guy, and his dog is a whole 4 pounds, and the dog just melts him. It's hysterical.
Yeah.
Another thing is the dogs are just so happy to go home as well because now they feel good. Now they're all clean and I love the dogs that when the owner picks up and we bring them into the reception area and the dogs just keep coming back and saying goodbye to us, Anthony. I love that. It's hysterical because the job is done, the pressure's off, the dog doesn't have to tolerate the grooming anymore. We don't have to be on high alert grooming the dog anymore. And it just becomes a thing where it's like they just go into play mode and they just keep coming back and saying goodbye to us. I love that.
That's always such a rewarding part of this job when that happens, because it also makes the customer feel super safe. And, on the surface, it seems impossible to try to convince somebody, yeah, let me have your dog for the day, and I have to use these really dangerous tools, and the dog has to, I'm going to bathe it and dry it and brush it and do all these things. So when a customer picks up and the dog loves us and keeps coming back and showing us affection and everything, it really, really helps people accept this process, and trust it, because that's the thing. I can't even really pretend to know what that feels like to drop my pet off. The only thing I know is like the vet. I know the feeling of the vet where it's like, okay, you come back later and it's horrifying, because it's like, please don't hurt my pet. No, I'll kill you. But this is, grooming obviously is more of a common thing where it's just, you have to do it all the time. So I really like that it helps the customer feel comfortable and trust, and nothing does it better than that, than when the dog doesn't want to not be anywhere near us when they pick up. Like with the fact that your owner is here now and you haven't seen them all day and you still want us to pet you and play with you, really, really goes a long way. It makes customers feel super comfortable, and that's what we want too.
For sure. Yeah. And it's hard. It's hard for them. It's hard for the client to drop off the dog because of what you said. You love your dog. You worry. You don't want to drop the dog off and feel like, you're alienating your own dog. You know what I mean? So it's very, very important that, the customer feels comfortable dropping the dog off to you. And like you said, they know that, by, when they pick up the dog, how happy the dog is that, the dog was treated well and all of that. So it's a big trust issue, as we've mentioned in a lot of our shows. Some of the dogs, they love us so much, they want to stay with us, right? We get the dog that doesn't even want to go back. It just wants to keep coming into the back room and stay with us, which is really, really funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes we have a door, obviously, that separates our groom room from the front entrance where the people drop their dogs off. And sometimes the dogs if it's the last dog of the day, especially, and it's the last dog to go home, we'll leave that door open because the day's over. There's no more dogs back there. So, they'll just keep running back there where they were all day. And it's like, this is where I was. Almost like they're trying to show their owner, hey, I want to come show you. This is where I did this today. Look, it's like back to school night.
It is. That's exactly what it is. They want to bring the owner into the back room and say, let me show you what I do, So, yeah. And, another one of the things. What am I, 3?
Another one of the things.
Another one of the things. Anyway,
grow up.
I know. I'm so immature. Another thing is that when the dogs go home, they get lots and lots of attention because now, they're groomed, they smell good, and it's another reason why don't underestimate dogs. They know why they're getting the attention. They know it's because they got groomed, and they also are well aware that you were the one who did that. You groomed them, and now they go home, and they get all this attention because they smell good. And in a lot of cases, they're allowed to do certain things that they wouldn't be allowed to do if they weren't clean. Like some owners will let them jump on the couch now and stuff like that because they're clean, where they might scoot them off because their paws might be dirty or whatever. But the dogs get a lot of attention after coming home from the dog groomers. And they know that. So the next time they come in, they're really, really happy to see you because they definitely put 2 and 2 together because dogs are just very, very smart. And so that's just another reason why a dog loves their dog groomer.
Yeah, and what you said, don't ever underestimate dogs because, when you have a day that's really vicious toward the groomer and doesn't like it, and through hard work and dedication of the groomer and bravery and all of that, and you finally break through to the dog and the dog ends up being pretty good. It's not always just because, like it's really good, like table training and this positive reinforcement. It's not. Sometimes it's just because exactly what you said. Sometimes the dog just realizes, well, I hate these guys. I hate this process. But when I go home, because of what these guys do, I can go on the couch now. Sometimes that's really the only reason why a dog goes from vicious to an angel, because they're smart.
Yeah, it's true. It's not. So maybe it's not so much that, they love you. I like that. I hate these guys, but I'm clean now. This guy scrubbed my ass. I can't hate him that much.
Yeah, we have to give some credit to the dogs. I'm sure. Yeah, we've had a bunch, and we've been doing this for so long that we've had a bunch of times where it's like the dog just from the first day that they came in hated everything, growling, trying to bite, all of that, and then eventually ended up being really good. And it's like, hey, you know what? Let's give a little credit to the dog. I think that our patience definitely played a role, and our wanting to comfort the dog played a role. But maybe that dog kind of put it all together and said, well, you know what? Maybe these guys are doing me a favor.
100%. Yeah. Don't underestimate dogs. And, we're right now, again, because of doing this so long, we're facing the challenge, and we face this a lot, like every 5 years, every 7 years, dogs, pass away because they just get too old. And now what's happening is we're getting a whole new series of puppies coming in. And it's a lot more work, because we have to, again, establish a positive relationship with the new puppies. And we're getting this just whole new wave of people coming in with all different dogs. So it's a challenge, because now we have to, again, we have to make friends with these dogs, where we had this fixed friendship with the veteran dogs that we were doing, where it was, like you said, with Coco, it's real easy. They come in, they crate, you take them out, they just know the system. Yeah. So we're dealing with about, I don't know, man, maybe at least 15, 20 puppies right now that we're all trying to, we're trying to table train them all and get them used to the process. But again, just have to establish that relationship with them and get them to love you and love them. And it's a challenge, because not all of them are, going to take to it as well as some others. Although I'm kind of fascinated, dude. A lot of the puppies that we're getting, Anthony, they're taking to it really, really well. It's weird.
I was going to say that lately, all of the puppies that we get, most of them anyway, have been really good. Yeah, because every couple of years, like my dad just said, with the old age and everything, every couple of years, everything sort of lines up, and it's like this big puppy apocalypse, where it's just it's like with every death comes a new life, I guess. And it's just like the circle of life continues, and every couple of years it hits really hard, where we lose a lot, and it's like, oh my God. And they're, these are all dogs that we've been doing for 10, 15 years. And
it's hard.
It's really hard. And then that Saturday, a new puppy will come in. And sometimes it's a customer of ours who took place in the last puppy apocalypse, where it's like, wow, so you lost your dog. We haven't seen you in 6 years, and now you have a new puppy, and we get to see you again. And here's your new dog. And it's like spiritual in a way. It's really weird how it happens.
And you get to know people on a whole different level, because, I would say a good 60, maybe 70% of our clientele who has lost their dog, they pretty much go out, get another one. And it's like, wow, you've had 4 decades of dogs. I've known you for 30 years. And again, it's just one of those rewarding things that we always talk about with being a dog groomer. But I think, one of the reasons why the puppies are doing so well, though, Anthony, I think it's because owners are being a lot more hands-on, between YouTube, whether it's our channel or somebody else's. They're educating themselves more on grooming. And that's what we mean about grooming's changing. People are actually changing. People are, showing more interest in grooming their dog at home, or at least maintaining. So again, like we always mention, if you're brushing your dog at home and now you bring that dog to the groomer, well, the dog knows what's going on. You know what I mean? The dog's used to it. It's like, oh yeah, mommy and daddy do this at home, and you're doing it here. So I give a lot of credit to the dog owners out there that are being really hands-on and then bringing their dogs to the groomer, and I think that's part of the reason why the puppies are doing so well.
I think so too, actually. Now that I think about it, now that you said that, it's like, people definitely have become much more hands-on. We actually talked about this in our the episode before this one, our last episode, where it was we were talking about the popularity of dog grooming has really increased, and it's not really just cute fun and games anymore either. It's like hands-on, in-depth looks at what goes into pet grooming has really gotten popular, and that really is playing a role. People are taking owning a pet way more seriously, and it's going to keep going in that direction, I hope, God willing. And I think that's really playing a big role. And if we can it makes it a lot easier for the groomers when the pet owners can actually do a little bit of breaking through to the puppy at home. It's like, you introduce them to the brush. That's great. That saves us so much time.
Sure. Absolutely. Yep. So with that being said, does your dog love your groomer? I'm going to say yes most of the time, and maybe no sometimes. But I would like to think that all dogs love their groomer, so I'm going to keep it there. With that being said, we're going to go to break here, and when we come back, we're going to talk about our funny segment in this episode of Groomer Humor. We'll be right back.
It's October, and there are spooky scares everywhere. When it comes to your dog's everyday health, you don't have to be spooked when you have Daily Dose. Daily Dose is a 2-in-1 dog chew that pairs a powerful dental scrub with vet-developed supplements for full body health and seriously clean smiles. Now pay attention. Through October 31st, enter for a chance to win all 4 bags of Daily Dose in calming, joint, heart, and skin health. Just post a picture of your pup's smile with the hashtag #SeriousSmileSweeps to any of Pet Life Radio's Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook pages. Good luck!
Visit yourpetsdailydose.com to save $3 on your first bag with promo code PETLIFE. That's yourpetsdailydose.com.
Moose is the German Shepherd and hasn't had any kind of health problems at all. He has been on Dinovite since he's a puppy. DINOVITE.com. We tell anybody that has a dog, if there was something that you could do right from the beginning so that you don't have expensive veterinary bills, why would you not do it? Get the Dinovite.
Dinovite for life.
You get some Dinovite, how happy your dog will be.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life
PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back to Groomer Humor on Pet Life Radio. We are your hosts. I'm Anthony Ray, hanging out with my dad, Rudy V, and today we are trying to answer the question of, does your dog love your groomer or not? And I guess we don't really have an answer for that at the end of it all. Kinda. Yes, no, depends. Yeah. And I think, though, that if you're a groomer and you notice that all of your dogs are kind of like running out when you're done, like they don't want anything else to do with you, I think you should try to be a little bit closer with the dogs, I think, because we definitely have plenty of dogs that are just done with us by the time their owners pick up. But I think it's important, and it's actually like, this doesn't really get discussed. That's why I really like the topic of this episode, that I think that's important. If you're a groomer and you're listening to this, pay attention to how your dogs act at the end of the day when the owners pick up, and see how that's a good gauge on how you're doing as far as building relationships with the dogs, because and we could probably do an entire show on how we build good relationships with our dogs.
We work on that all the time. When we have a dog that doesn't want to really be, we work even harder to get that dog to like us and have a good experience, So
that's, so I guess maybe just naturally that's always been very important to us. So I think that's actually a good topic for another time, is some of the things that we do to build strong relationships.
Like lay on the floor.
Yeah. I'll lay on the floor.
lay on the dirty, hair-filled floor.
just to make a dog feel more comfortable.
It's one of the many things we do.
Yeah. So anyway, before we went to break, my dad mentioned to you guys that when we come back, we're going to talk about our funny segment. For some reason, he didn't say we were going to do it. So I guess, we're just going to talk about our funny segment. We're not going to do it, though. Forget that.
I'm not going to
talk
read
about it. Yeah. No, I'll do it real quick. Here, we're going to talk about it. We're not going to do it, though. So, every episode we do a funny comment. And it's kind of funny. Sometimes it's directed towards us. Sometimes it's directed towards something else. But, that's what we do. Anyway, thanks for stopping by, guys.
We're just going to talk about it. Well, here, you know what? The funny comment segment's really, really funny today. But that's it.
Well, it's a shame. Yeah, that's a shame that we can't do it. It's a shame.
I'm not allowed to read it now. You guys would have loved this funny segment.
My dad doesn't want to do it today. He just wants to talk about it.
That's it. You know what? I'm gonna give him a solid. I'm gonna read it.
I'm a professional.
Whoa. Okay, guys. Let's talk and let's read this funny comment segment. I like this one a lot. This one's kind of this one melts me. It's a love story. But this one says, I brought my dog to the groomer. She and I started dating. When she came to my house, my dog bit her. We are now married, and Roxy still hates her.
Okay, wait a minute. Hold on. Before we get into the obvious funny part about that, can you read the first part? Did they say that they brought their dog to the groomer and then they married it?
No, he brought his dog to the groomer. He said, I brought my dog to the groomer. She and I started dating. When she came to my house, my dog bit her. We are now married, and Roxy still hates her. I just think that's hysterical.
No, that is funny. It just sounds at the beginning it sounds like he's talking about dating his dog. Because you say I brought my dog, but listen to the sentence. I brought my dog to the groomer. She and I started dating. I think that's illegal.
I'm pretty sure that is. That's illegal, man. You can't do that. It's just goes against all morals.
Right. Yeah, there's a moral problem here. But okay, in the interest of, I'm pretty sure he's talking about a human being that he started dating after he brought Roxy to the groomer. That's hilarious. She still doesn't
That's hilarious. And I love that. I love that Roxy still hates her.
I wonder how long they've been together.
Oh, that's funny.
Did it say it in how long they've been together in the comment?
No, it didn't say. That's the only thing. But we're going to reach out to this person and see how things are going. Are you even still married? You know what I mean? Yeah. Roxy hates you.
That's a rough situation. Like, what do you do?
It's a tough price to pay for, for free dog groomings on that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's hysterical. That is just so funny.
I wonder why.
Because the dog doesn't want to jealousy. There it is. See, and you know what? Roxy's probably saying, "Listen, you're on my turf, bitch. You are on my turf now. You don't groom me here."
Yeah. That's a funny thing for Roxy to call a person, considering that legally Roxy herself is a bitch.
Is the bitch? Yeah. So
I don't understand that. It's like they really could have come up with a better term for a female dog.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I think it's time to change that.
Yes, bitch. That's not a good name.
It's really not. Isn't a female deer? What is that? That's called something different, like a fawn or something.
I think so. No, that's a baby deer. Oh, no, female deer is a doe. A doe. Yeah, doe.
A doe. Fawn. Well, so wait, but hold on. So I'm not completely wrong. So a female baby deer could be a doe fawn.
Yes.
Yeah. See, I'm
correct.
Fine. I'm fine. I got this.
Correct. So
Yeah. So like think of that. Like that sounds nice. That sounds a lot nicer.
Yeah. I don't like that either. I don't want to call a female dog a bitch.
What do they call? Do they have a name for male dogs?
A bastard.
This is quickly turning into Joe Rogan dog podcast over
here. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, this was a good show. I like this.
Well, that was interesting to say the least. So, thank you so much for stopping by, guys. As always, we'd like to thank our producer, Mark Winter. Thank you so much, Mark. If you haven't already, head on over to our YouTube channel. That's Grooming by Rudy on YouTube.com. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe. We want to hear from you guys. You could also like Grooming by Rudy on Facebook, follow Grooming by Rudy on Instagram and Twitter. It has been an absolute pleasure as always. Until next time, take care of yourselves and your pets.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.